Some of you know that we just returned from a trip to Tanzania in Africa. Joy and Annika and myself spent about 2 weeks there, and we had a little agenda. We knew that we were going to connect with the Lutheran Church in Tanzania, which we're excited about. It's a well-known church, over 7 million people, and we were going to help do a pastor's conference. We had another reason for going as well.
We were also going to spend some time at Courage House, which is a home in Tanzania for girls that have been trafficked. And it was precious to spend time there with those girls.
We went with our agenda for sure, that we were going to give something, that we were going to present something. Little did we know that God had us also on His agenda. He was going to do something in us. And we want to share some of that with you and maybe invite you into a way that you can help. While we were there with the Lutheran pastors, there was a deep response to Stephanie Midtune, who's the director of Courage worldwide in Tanzania. She shared about her own story, and she shared about some just grave statistics that are going on in the world and in Tanzania around the issue of sex trafficking. And they started a campaign called Not in My Country, and the pastors and spouses bought into it, and now it's moved to government officials, other NGOs. There's a movement really started in Tanzania that's very exciting. And maybe we'll just tell you a little bit about some of the things that we heard. Trafficking in Tanzania is maybe a little bit like trafficking in America. It's behind the scenes. A lot of us don't see it except maybe on the news when a ring has been exposed, or when a group of pimps have been arrested, or victims have been released. It's not a tourism-based trafficking like it is in some other nations. And yet it's no less a problem. It's a big problem all around the world. It's a problem in Tanzania. One of the other problems is there's not a lot of aftercare facilities. And so we were so pleased to be able to connect with Courage Worldwide, the house there, and to meet the girls. Now, Courage Worldwide is really cautious about exploitation, because these girls have been victims of exploitation in the worst possible way. They're careful not to exploit their faces. They're careful not to exploit their stories for the sake of raising money, and we really agree with that. But we could speak in general terms. The house there at Courage House is full. Every bed is full. There's 2 babies that have joined them as well, that have come with their mamas, and their stories are gripping. Their stories are gripping.
Home is just one of just such a family, and the mamas there that are taking care of the girls do with such love and care and direction, and really discipling these girls as they're growing and as they're finding a place of healing for their past and their present, and really looking forward to hope for the future. They're getting wonderful educations. They're involved in a church. They're discipled. They're getting counseling for the sort of circumstances they've been in their lives that's going to bring healing and hope for their future. And it was just a joy to see what was going on in that home, and how those girls are just being formed into a family and a place of love and growing together.
And we saw it on their faces.
We did.
We had a connection with the assistant to the bishop of the Northern Diocese of the Lutheran Church in Tanzania, and he had an idea. He said, I know of a place, I know of a campus that isn't up for sale yet, but it probably will be soon. It's very affordable, and I think it would be perfect for the long-term needs of Courage Worldwide. We had the chance to go walk around. I was actually really sick that day. I was laid out. I quickly walked around the campus, but I was laid out in the back of a Toyota Land Rover. But Joy, tell them what you saw when you saw the campus.
First of all, it's set on the top of a hill. As you stand on this property, you can just get this view, just turning around in a circle, and you just have this beautiful view. Kind of it just seems almost like a place set apart. There are already spaces for classrooms. I think there's up to 10 classrooms ready to go. A dormitory that can house up to 30 girls, maybe even more. An office space for Courage to have their offices for their teachers, for their counselors, as the girls are being just taken through these steps to healing the facility. As well as just lots of land so that they can have their chickens, so that they can raise a garden if they would like to, do some planting, and have a chance to have some agriculture on their campus.
The chickens really got me. I thought, this is definitely the Lord. We knew that the Lord was calling us to be a part of it. We've already collected financial resources from our own family and in our own home to help with the acquisition of this property. We don't want to presume that it is anyone else's call. We know that it's our call. And I brought it to the Trinity Lutheran elders yesterday, as well as Trinity's council last night. And they were unanimous. Both the elders and the council were unanimous. They said, Nathan, this isn't just you, this is the Lord. And they said, please don't lead us cautiously on this, lead us courageously. And we do sense that God is in this invitation to join in the acquisition of this property. And it's possible, it's really possible. A word, first of all, to Trinity people. This is a word, this whole message is a word for anybody, but here's a specific word for Trinity people. A generous Trinity donor has come forward with a matching challenge. Above and beyond his tithe and his normal offering, he's challenging Trinity people to give $10,000, and he'll match it for $10,000. That gets us 1/3 of the way to purchasing this property. The stipulation that came with his challenge is because his is over and above his tithe and his normal giving, he'd like any Trinity gifts that come as a matching to also be above their normal tithe and their normal giving, so the ministry of the church doesn't suffer. This is such a great opportunity, and it really puts the finish line in sight. But there's also a word to everybody else. Anyone else can be a part of this.
Yeah, we want to extend this challenge to people that even aren't part of our church, Trinity San Pedro. Those of you that we know from the internet, from school, from family, we just want to invite you to be part of this great story that God is writing in Tanzania for these girls. And so there are ways to give. You can see them there on your screen. We'll also put the links right here in this post. Please share this and get the word out to see if we can make this happen this week. We're trying to raise $60,000. We know that's nothing to our God. He can do this, and we're just excited to be on this journey with him and with you.
Large gifts are welcome. Very small gifts are welcome. If you say, I can do $10, I can do $100, I can do $1,000, I can do $10,000, any one of those is wonderful. There'd be nothing happier for me than to show up with a bunch of small gifts to this project and to say, there's 250 people that believe in your future, and they've heard God's call to respond to this project. So thank you for taking the time to listen to this really longer video than we expected it to be. And God bless you. God give you wisdom as you discern if you're to be a part of this project. Thank you.